Here are my top 10 lessons that I have learned in business. My wife and I, we started an insurance agency a little over 3 years ago. And this video is not my attempt to say that I have it all figured out. And in fact, that's my first lesson, is that I don't have it figured out. And neither does anybody else. We are all trying to figure out this business thing. We're all trying to figure out whatever we're doing in life. We're all trying to get through this. And when you change your mindset to that, instead of saying, I'm going to figure everything out, I'm going to be the best, you have humility there. And when you can humble yourself, you can become a student and start to learn. That's the first lesson I learned. Number 2, build the business you want. Build the business that you want to have. Me and my wife, we said, hey, if we're going to start a business and we're going to go to zero and start from scratch, what do we want that to look like? Well, we like to travel. We want to be able to operate our business from wherever. We want to be able to have the ability to make a lot of money. We want to have the freedom, the flexibility, the control to mold our business the way we want to control the culture. So one mistake that we made is about 2 years in, we said, hey, let's look at getting an office. And we knew a person who was going to allow us to have an office for 3 months to try it out. We tried it out, and I hated it. I absolutely hated it. I hated going to the office. Our employees, they wanted to work remote. And I said, why am I doing this? Why am I resenting my business? If I don't want to go to an office, why am I building a business that has an office? I should build the business that fits the lifestyle that I want. Because if not, why am I building it? Why am I building something that I resent and don't like? So build the business you want. Build it custom to you. Number 3, don't wait for someone to pay you to give up on your dreams. There's a lot of people I know that would be great business owners, but they make too much money for them to quit their job and go to zero. The risk of them starting a business is too high. They have too much to lose. So if you want to start a business, you need to start it before somebody comes in and starts paying you a ton of money. It's hard to give up $150,000, $250,000 salary or a $300,000 salary to go to zero. That is rough. That is hard to stomach. And some people shouldn't go to zero. It's too risky. But you can start that business while you're young and you have less to risk. You have less that you have to give up because you can always go back to the industry and find a job. So if you want to start a business, you want to be an entrepreneur, start before somebody comes in and gives you a massive payday. Number 4, only profits matter. Only profits matter. In today's world, in the insurance industry, for an agency, there are 1,000 different ways I can spend money on tech. If I spent money on all the tech out there, I would have no money. I would spend every money in my business, we'd have no profits. So me and my wife, before we make an expense, we say, will this expense add more revenue to our business? Or will this expense save me time so I can go produce more revenue? If an increase in revenue where that revenue is also profitable, then that's what we're going to move that expense to. But we're not going to go spend money on things just because it's cool, because it looks cool, a bunch of swag, and things that don't add to profitability. Because if you're not profitable in business, you can't get a loan. If you're not profitable in business, you're not going to stay in business. If you're not profitable in business, then you shouldn't be in business because you're not making any money. So profits matter, and it's one of the few things that you should focus on in your business 100%. Number 5, pivot quickly. The times in our business that we've been the most successful is when we pivoted quickly. Something wasn't working, we shifted, we moved to something else really quickly. It's not abandoning things and giving up on something, but when you see something that isn't working, instead of sitting there and hammering that nail every single day, you should think about shifting to something else, shifting to another marketing effort, shifting to another technology. Shift and move quickly. All the great companies, when they see that something isn't working, they pivot and they move quickly. Number 6, it's not the best who wins, it's the best known. The best person that nobody knows about will not succeed in business. If nobody knows you, nobody can know how great you are. I always say, being known gets me a seat at the table. Being good keeps me at the table. Okay? So I still got to be good. I still got to be great. I'd be great at this insurance thing. But for me to get a seat at the table, people got to know who I am. They got to know who my business is. They got to know. And I told Kimmy, my wife, I say, we need everybody to know that we own an insurance agency. And when they're looking for a quote, that they call us. That's how we're going to beat out the competitors. It's not going to be how great we are at insurance, because there's firms that are probably better than me. There's firms that we may be better than, that are way more profitable than we are. It doesn't matter. It has 100% due to who knows your business, and the people that know your business, are they interacting and buying from your business? The best known wins, not the best who wins. Number 7, there is more to life than your business. I learned this after a first year in business. You need to take a break from being an entrepreneur. My first year in business, anytime someone was talking to me, I would bring up my business, and that's what controlled the conversation. And I was like, at some point I woke up and I said, nobody wants to hear about my business, because they don't. You are a human being. Be a human being. People may ask about your business, but they don't care to hear the whole story about it. It's okay to take a break from being an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs, we get so high strung, we have so much pressure, so much things going on, that sometimes we just want to unload on somebody. But that's not what that person's there for. That person's there to get to know you and have a relationship with you. And you, for your own mental health, you need to take a break from being an entrepreneur. You need to take a break from being a business owner and relax a little bit. Take a step away from your business so you can come back with more motivation and tenacity. Number 8, focus on sales. Focus on sales. We do not want to do the things that are not fun in our business, especially owners and entrepreneurs. I don't want to do the thing every day that produces revenue in my business, because it's boring. But I have to hold myself accountable to do that. Anytime we've had a dip in sales, it's because we were distracted on something else. We're going to golf outings, going to industry events, going to things that really didn't produce the revenue. Taking on too many meetings, not saying no to things, doesn't produce revenue. Why was I saying yes to those things? I was saying yes to those things because I didn't want to go back in the trenches. I didn't want to go get uncomfortable again. I didn't want to go do the sales. I wanted to take a step away. But what we have to do as entrepreneurs and business owners is we have to hold ourselves accountable to do the hard things that we may not want to do. It is so much fun doing the fun things of business, working on your logo, working on your marketing, working on your mission statement. But those things don't bring revenue into the business. You are not going to have a culture at your company unless you have revenue coming in. You're not going to have a mission statement that anyone cares about unless you have revenue coming in that you can scale your company. So we had to say, hey, we need to focus on the sales. Stop getting distracted with other things. Focus on the sales. Number 9, small clients become big clients. In our industry today, the small business, the small account is neglected. Nobody cares about the small account. In fact, a lot of companies don't want you to even insure a small account because it's not profitable. But I'm telling you today, in our business, we've had small accounts grow to be big accounts. Small accounts refer us numerous accounts that were 10 times larger than them. And it's because of the experience. If you can provide a great experience for somebody, they will tell other people. Think of a great restaurant you've been to, right? Within a day or two, you usually go tell 4 or 5 people, man, I tried this new restaurant. You got to go try it out. The service was amazing. The food was so good. You need to go try it out. That experience allowed them to go tell other people. And that's how you grow a company. You grow a company from an experience, not by saying, hey, we're only going to work with you if you pay us X, Y, and Z. So we're focused more on, hey, let's not focus on the actual account and the revenue it produces. Let's focus on giving them the best experience possible, because we know that that one account will produce way more revenue if we give them the best experience they can. Number 10, if you aren't a franchise, don't act like one. And what that means is when I first started my business, I looked at every other insurance agency's website, the way they operate, the way they do this, and I said, well, I got to do my company like that. But then I started studying the most successful companies in the world. Amazon, Tesla, Apple. They weren't successful because they took the same model that everybody else was doing and said, we're just going to do it better, like a franchise. They said, hey, Tesla, I'm going to do something that's completely different in the auto industry and bring an electric car in. Amazon, the shipping industry, the online store where people shop, we're going to change that. We're going to flip it on its head. The most successful companies did not take an existing model and perfect it. They said, here's the existing model. What can I do differently to make the client want to interact with our business instead of the other business? So one thing that we're trying to figure out, and we're trying to tinker with our business, is how can we not be a franchise? How can we be an insurance agency that has the look, feel, and the interaction that is not consistent with other companies in our industry? Because there's so many insurance agencies. You drive for 10 minutes down any city, you see an insurance agency. Boom, boom, every 10 minutes. So how can we differentiate ourselves? How can we be different? How can we not just be another franchise insurance agency, but a completely different business that there is no competition? There is no competition when you are not a franchise. When you are a franchise, you're just like everybody else. So you got to be different. So these are the 10 lessons I've learned. I am not attempting to say that I have it all figured out. I'm just telling you what I've learned so far, and this is what's worked for me. It may not work for you. You may have your own lessons. I don't know. I'm just here to explain what I've learned, and hopefully it adds value to what you're doing in life. Thanks.